Okay, so there is a new indie sci-fi thriller drama thing out. It's called Ultrasound. Now, from the title, like you've what could it be, right? I think I was thinking actually I have no fucking clue what I was thinking, but it wasn't what I saw. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, something completely different, which isn't a bad thing. Okay, so this is the feature directorial debut from Rob Schroeder. Schroeder, I think. It is written by Conor Stechschulte, who adapted his own comic book series for this one. It is produced by Schroeder and Gorg Kallart, executive produced by Shayna Schroeder and Justin Allen, um, co-produced by Brooke Bodell and Spencer Chesoweski, and associate produced by Peter Koplowiski. Music is Zach Engel. Cinematography is Matthew Rodenberg. Um, Bodell also edits the film. Mandy Sherman handles the casting. Alexis Rose is on production design. Olga Nezvetelov, who handles art direction. Costume design is Chelsea Robbins. Makeup is Angie Bulmer and Shyla Swarford. Now, our cast. Okay, so we have got a Vincent Kartheiser as Glen. Chelsea Lopez plays Cyndi. Breda Wall plays Shannon. Tunde Adibimp plays Dr. Connors. Rainey Qualley plays Katie. Art is played by Bob Stephenson. We have got Miss Harrington, played by Dana Lynn Barron. Mr. Underwood, played by Jim Bovine. Mr. Munberg, played by Chris Doherty. Julie is played by Porter Duang. George is Tony Evangelista. Stephanie is played by Davida Williams. Alex Harris is played by Chris Gartin. Yeah, I think that's probably, yeah, I probably would say that that's the main people, the main players in the piece. Now the gist is this. Yeah, when his car breaks down, a young man, Glen, spends a strange night with a married couple, which takes a bizarre twist, setting off a series of events destined to change all of their lives. At the same time, in a nondescript research facility, medical professionals, Shannon begins questioning her role in a bizarre experiment, featuring fearing that she's doing more harm than good. Elsewhere, an attractive young woman is feeling emotionally wrecked by a secret romantic arrangement that feels like textbook gaslighting. How these seemingly unconnected incidents converge is only part of the mind bending mystery. Hmm. I mean, I yeah, I would say Shannon doesn't. I don't feel that she questions her job until one incident, right? That's the big thing. She's fine, and then we have this one. That's one of the things that I was wondering about with this, right? Because yeah, she she doesn't mind, right? As far as you can see, she is happy doing the experiments and everything like that, which aren't great, right? It's not like the work is, you know what I mean, saintly. Right? There's no mistaking that something off key is happening here, but she's doing it, right? She's happy to do it. And then this one thing happens, and then she's like, oh no. And so you go from one extent to the other. It seemed like a very quick, like, no. And then, you know what I mean? Pull the cord, I'm getting out of here kind of scenario, which did seem a little, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of drastic. Seems the fact that you knew you were doing some kind of funky shit, right? It's not like you're healing people and shit like that. It's just like, yo, you're doing funky shit, right? So I understand, like, you know what I mean? You're already on the dubious side of the moral curb here, kid, right? So we have that. The gaslighting thing. I don't think it's gaslighting, right? I don't know, because to me, you know, the our young lady's predicament is an affair, right? Shorty got herself into an affair, and it's like, I mean, come on, it's an affair. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're doing. Like, it's you're having an affair. You know that the dude is married. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a totally different thing if you don't know someone is married, right? And someone's lying to you, but she knew. So that is just more of a case of, okay, you got into something and you were happy too, and now you want to change the parameters, but the other person who probably said, oh, at some point I'm gonna leave my wife and all of that, but now it's like, nah, I don't know. I don't know. But it's like you got into that knowing that person was married. So already you know they're a liar. You know what I mean? It's not like they're honest and keep their, because it was just like, oh yeah, I promised you love, adore in sickness and in health. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, I'll have an affair. You know, so you know the person's a liar, right? So yeah, I don't know if I'm calling that gaslighting. But here's the thing, like this, I will say I was confused as fuck. I will say I was confused as fuck watching this one, because I mean, like, I feel at the beginning, I thought that we were in a stranger than fiction kind of situation, right? Where, you know, like they were able to hear the person narrating their lives kind of thing. So you have these two kind of weird parallel worlds kind of going on. It's not that. Yes, it is not that at all. So I'm then like, okay, what is what is happening here? And you see these different things. So these experiments are happening, and we're getting dialogue used, like the same dialogue from one thing happening somewhere else, and you're just like, okay, all right, something there's gonna be a reveal here, right? But what could this be? What could this be? And there is some smart stuff. There is definitely some smart stuff because I just remember at the very beginning when Glen is like walking, like rushing through the rain, we see something on the road, and it's just like, wait, how are you gonna run past that? How is that not gonna make you go, hold on a second? Hmm? Um, so yeah, that's odd. And then later in the film, we see what that really was. And you're like, oh yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Now, I will say that the spikes aren't accounted for. It is a bit like, okay, so if all of this happens and all of that, bum bum bum, what about the spikes? Where the fuck did the spikes come from? So that there's, as I said, look, it's very, it's being smart here. So you can think, if you think like the end of Russell T. Davis, Russell T. Davis, I feel, right? He's run on Doctor Who when Stephen Moffat then took over. So you had the David Tennant going into the Matt Smith, right? And in the Matt Smith, there was stuff that happened at the very beginning that seemed mad random, and then it's accounted for at the very end. And you're like, yo, shooting two different episodes that play off each other. That's crazy. And we saw that there was a similar intent here, right? A similar burst to create something that has this quirky sense of reality going on. Now, I will say in some places it works, in other places it doesn't quite play, right? Because I think you, although, right, there's this whole thing about sleight of eye. What's it called? Faint of eye? Sleight of eye? I don't know. But they're trying to fool you, right? It's all about that misdirection. And I feel there is misdirection, and then there's just straight up leaving things out, right? So, I mean, it's easy just to leave things out, right? And you're like, well, no one's going to guess that because you never alluded to it until when you revealed or like, oh, yes, this is what you didn't see. And we're like, yeah, because you didn't show anything, right? There's no trick there because you didn't give us anything, right? So it's easy to do that. And I think sometimes they did that. Sometimes, right? There is little crumbs that you're just like, huh, what does that mean? What is that? Right. So we have these things, but then there's these things that go on. Like there's this whole sequence which plays off between some of our characters. And you're like, okay. But then something else then happens after that. And you're like, right, okay, that's fine. But how is this person then going to go, oh, I think something happened. Oh, I know where they'll be. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, well, firstly, how is she going to know? Secondly, how is she going to find them? You know what I mean? It's just like, there's a lot there. So I think it takes some big swings, right? It takes some big swings at a story. A lot of those swings do not play off for me. They don't play off. You know what I mean? They're admirable, right? You got to go, yo, you tried your thing. And, for a feature debut, it's not bad, right? But yeah, don't always play. Like, I thought that the camera work and everything that is good. We have some interesting angles and all of that. Now we do get this whole kind of escape sequence that then just goes a little nuts. Goes a little nuts. I feel that ramping up the music isn't necessarily necessary here, right? So the music gets ramped up. We really kind of we got a weird angle, colors change. It then gets like trippy and all. I don't think we needed to go so OTT, right? Because it then plays crazy different to what we're seeing. And it's only a few seconds of a kind of a shot type of thing. So it's just like this weird, suddenly like, you're like, yo, what the fuck? You know? But that's just me. Um, but yeah, it's a crazy one, man. It's a crazy one. Like, I think in like the press release, right? They're saying that it's earned comparisons to Christopher Nolan's stuff, like Memento and Primer. And I'll be like, no, it's not the same, right? Just because something is off, right? Off of center, playing a little, you know what I mean? Crazy. Like it's going, oh, that's like insane. It's not. It's not. It's not like Memento at all. You know? Like I feel like you can aspire, you can be um motivated, right? You can look at someone and go, oh, I'd love to make a film like that. I love people wondering about my story like that. Doesn't mean you're gonna do it. It doesn't mean that thing is gonna be that thing, right? And this isn't I'm not saying this is a terrible film. I'm saying it's not anything like Primer or Memento. Uh, but yeah, for a feature debut, right? We definitely see a lot of promise here. I do feel there are holes in the script. I feel there's holes in the script and these motivations and things like that. I mean, look, when I was looking for like information on this, the IMBD and all of that, certain things are said, right? Especially in the Wikipedia entry, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're saying that these people were supposedly in this thing all this time, because I did not get that, right? I don't believe that jumps out at you if that is the case, because not everything on Wikipedia is true, people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. So I feel that there's parts of this story that just aren't very clear. And when I say clear, look, we don't need all the answers, but I feel for you to emphasize, right, to kind of feel for characters, you don't have to like them, but understand motivations and all of that, just so you can be like, all right, I get this, I'm on their side, right? I'm rooting for this person, I'm rooting for that person, right? You need the story to flow in a certain way, right? Certain things have to make a level of sense. I feel that is a little up and down, is a little hurdy-gurdy. So listen, as I said, takes huge swings. It's ambitious. I like that. Isn't always successful, but it's interesting. It's interesting. You know what I mean? So, people, look, Ultrasound, it is out now. You can get it on all your favorite VODs. So, if you do like a quirky sci-fi, right? Um, yeah, this one. Think Laguna Avenue, right? think Laguna Avenue. So if you like a quirky sci-fi, then maybe Ultrasound is for you.